Welcome to Skinner and Chalmers Weekly Roast. Today, how to train your cat, the hidden world of trick teaching.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our new episode of Skinner and Chalmers Weekly Roast, a podcast where only the steamiest topics are discussed. It's the 26th of February, and as always, I'm Superintendent Chalmers, and by my side is my good old friend, Principal Seymour Skinner. Welcome, Steamer!
Happy hello, Chalmers, and hello to our listeners out there. Today we're talking about something near and dear to us, cats. Yes, you heard right, cats. Now, Chalmers, do you know what I found recently?
Well, what is it? A burning house?
That too, but I'm thinking of something else. It's that, well, cats can actually learn tricks just like dogs. Did you know that?
Really? That's fascinating. My neighbor's cat knows how to open doors, but I never thought about training them myself. What do you think of the idea, Seymour?
Well, cats are known for being independent and not necessarily eager to learn from humans, but with patience and consistency, it is possible. Just like with dogs. However, some people might argue that cats shouldn't be trained because they have their own unique personalities and should be left alone.
That's true. Cats do enjoy being independent and sometimes even aloof. I think we need to respect their boundaries when it comes to training them. But at the same time, there are also many cases where cats have been successfully trained for various reasons. For example, for performing in shows.
Yes, that's true. Cats can be quite helpful and loyal companions if given a chance. However, training cats is very different to training dogs. They need more patience as they often don't like being forced into something they are not comfortable with.
True! So what should we consider when it comes to training cats? Do you think we and our listeners with cats can start right away?
Yes, of course, Chalmers. Firstly, we need to understand that our approach must be different from dogs. We don't want to scare them or push them too hard so they lose interest in learning.
Good point. So what are the basic steps? What should one do first when training a cat?
Well, Chalmers, it all starts with having patience and understanding their behavior. We also need to use positive reinforcement techniques such as treats or praise whenever they succeed in doing something we want them to learn.
Treats. Now you're talking my language, Seymour. Cats love treats almost as much as I do your cooking. And what about the training materials required? Do you think I can find everything at a local pet store?
Absolutely, Chalmers. You should be able to find all the necessary materials such as clickers, treats, and target sticks there. It's important to use those tools consistently throughout the training process for better results.
Sounds great, Seymour. I think we have everything covered now to train our cats successfully.
Yes, Chalmers, we do. But remember, it takes time and effort. Just like any other skill, it's a journey of understanding each other and building trust through positive reinforcement and consistency. So let's get started then, shall we?
Yes. Let's go through some basic commands like sit first. So how do you suggest starting with this?
Firstly, we need to understand why cats may not be eager to perform such actions naturally. They definitely have a mind of their own. So the key is making them feel relaxed while training them.
That makes sense, Seymour. Can you explain how to make this happen?
Yes, Chalmers. We can start by using positive reinforcement techniques like treats or toys that your cat loves to get their attention and motivate them to sit down. It's also important to reward them immediately after they perform the desired behavior so they understand what they did right.
Great idea, Seymour. But how do we actually teach them to sit? Do you have any specific technique for it?
Yes, Chalmers. There are several approaches that can be used depending on your cat's personality and preference. The best option would be to simply sit down with a few treats and just wait. Wait until you get the cat's attention. Then first pet your cat a bit and then simply wait until the cat sits down. This will happen sooner or later, so be patient. When the time comes, say sit and give a treat. Repeat this several times until the cat loses interest. The training phases usually last a maximum of 5 minutes, but if you repeat it regularly, for example, every day, your cat will learn the trick through operant conditioning.
That sounds like a good plan. But what if our cats are not really interested in treats or toys? How do we motivate them to sit then?
In such cases, you can try using clicker training, which involves associating an action with clicking sound and rewarding the cat each time they perform it correctly. This method helps teach your feline companion that a certain behavior will lead to positive consequences, and thus encourages them to do so more often. But you have to condition the cat to the clicker first. Give a treat every time it clicks. They quickly memorize that.
That's amazing. It seems like there are many ways we can train our cats effectively without forcing or scaring them, right?
Absolutely, Chalmers. With patience, consistency, and understanding of your cat's behavior patterns, you will be able to teach them various commands successfully. Remember to have fun while training them, as it makes the whole process more enjoyable for both you and your feline friend.
That's great advice, Seymour. Seymour, I think we should also remember that each cat is unique and might respond differently to certain training methods. It's important for us as pet parents to observe our cats closely and adjust our approach accordingly. For example, some cats may be more visual learners while others are more tactile or auditory learners.
You're absolutely right about that, Chalmers. Every cat has its own personality traits which affect how they respond to training methods. Some might prefer verbal commands, while others respond better to hand signals or body language. It's important for us as pet parents to be observant and adapt our approach accordingly so we can effectively communicate with our cats without causing any stress or confusion.
Yes, I think that's a very important point. Another thing we should consider is the environment where we train our cats. A quiet room with minimal distractions might work better for some cats, while others may feel more comfortable training in an area where they can move around freely or have access to their favorite scratching post.
Excellent observation, Chalmers. The environment plays a significant role in how well your cat will learn and retain new skills. Providing them with an enriched environment that stimulates their senses can help keep them engaged during training sessions. This could include toys, scratching posts, climbing structures, or even hiding places where they feel safe and secure while learning new tricks. However, new environments are not necessarily a cat's favorite, so it is important to use a familiar environment.
That's a great idea. I think it would also be helpful for us as pet parents if we made training fun for our cats by incorporating playtime into their daily routine. This way, they won't just see training sessions as work, but rather enjoyable activities that strengthen the bond between them and us.
Indeed. Playtime is essential for your cat's physical and mental well-being, so it makes perfect sense to combine it with training sessions. Not only does this keep them interested in learning new things, but it also helps reinforce positive associations between you and your feline friend. Remember that cats are natural hunters who love stalking and pouncing on prey, so incorporating interactive toys or games into their playtime can help stimulate those instincts while teaching them valuable skills like focus and coordination.
That's a wonderful idea. I think we should also discuss the importance of consistency when it comes to training our cats. It's essential that we use the same commands, hand signals, or body language each time, so they understand what we want them to do without confusion.
Absolutely right, Chalmers. Consistency is key when training any animal, including cats. Using clear and consistent commands helps your cat associate specific words or actions with desired behaviors, making it easier for them to learn and remember those skills over time. You must not forget, cats have no idea what we say to them. They don't understand language. Language is an extremely complex subject. However, they recognize similar sounds and signals quite well. It's also important that all members of the household use the same commands so there's no confusion or conflicting messages during training sessions.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with me today, Seymour. I feel like I've learned a lot about how to train my cat effectively and make sure she has a happy and fulfilling life as part of our family. I can't wait to see how my cat reacts when I try these techniques out. So let's get started now.
Me too, Chalmers, me too. Let's do this together after our podcast episode and make sure our cats learn some new tricks along the way. Just remember to keep the training sessions short and fun so they don't lose interest or become stressed out.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with me today, Seymour. I feel like I've learned a lot about how to train my cat effectively and make sure she has a happy and fulfilling life as part of our family.
Oh, it was my pleasure, Chalmers. Training cats can be such a rewarding experience for both the pet parent and their furry companion. And remember, if you ever need any more advice or tips along the way, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm always happy to help a fellow cat lover in need.
Well, thank you again. Now, speaking of cats, do you recall that time when you used a neighbor's cat as an excuse for burning food? You claimed it ran over the knob at the oven and turned up the heat?
Oh, haha. Yeah, remember that incident well? It was quite a mess, wasn't it? But let me tell you exactly what happened.
Go on. Fun.
So, as I was cooking my famous Moroccan chicken tagine, the neighbor's cat Snips decided to sneak into the kitchen and start investigating all the delicious smells wafting through the air. Now, being a curious kitty, he accidentally knocked over one of those tall stainless steel pots that were sitting on the counter.
And?
Well, as you know, cats have this innate fear of water and loud noises. So when that pot clattered to the floor, Snips let out a blood-curdling scream and took off like a shot. Unfortunately for me, in his haste to escape, he accidentally brushed up against the stove knob.
And turned up the heat.
Exactly. The next thing I knew, my beautifully simmering tagine had boiled over and covered everything in a thick, sticky mess. It was quite the disaster, but at least it gave me an opportunity to try out some of those emergency firefighting techniques I'd learned from that survivalist magazine you gave me for Christmas.
Right. So, Snips just happened to be in your kitchen, knock over a pot, and accidentally turn up the heat on his way out.
Well, it's not entirely unheard of for cats to get into mischief like that. You know how curious they can be, and besides, Snips had always been rather clumsy.
Yeah, keep telling that yourself. Anyway, just wanted to make sure we were on the same page about what happened that day. It's important for us to remember these things and learn from them as pet parents, and for you chefs, don't you think?
Absolutely. Learning from our mistakes is an essential part of being a responsible cat owner and chef. And I appreciate your support during that difficult time, Chalmers. You were always there with a kind word and some delicious takeout to help me get through it all. Here's looking forward to many more years of sharing stories about our furry friends over dinner.
Amen to that, Seymour. Now, how about I buy a nice bottle of wine tonight and we can continue this fascinating conversation? I'm sure you have plenty more cat-related anecdotes up your sleeve.
Sounds wonderful, Chalmers. I'll be looking forward to it. And don't forget about my famous chicken tagine recipe that we can try together this time around. It's sure to impress even the most discerning of feline palates.
Oh, you flatterer. I can't wait for another delightful evening of cat talk and culinary adventures with my favorite principal.
The feeling is mutual, Superintendent Chalmers. Well, I guess that's it for our podcast today. If we want to grab a bottle, we shouldn't wait till the stores are closed.
Agreed. Until then, dear listeners, I'll leave you with this. Always remember that honesty is the best policy, unless you're trying to convince someone your cat did burn dinner. In that case, well, let's just say creativity might be your best friend.
I know what you're implying. But, well, see you next time. Have a great week.
Take care. Have a nice day.
That was another nice podcast episode today, wasn't it?
Definitely, Skinner. I didn't realize you knew so much about cats. I mean, Cosmo is an orb pet, which is totally different from cats in his case.
I wouldn't even emphasize that so much. Cosmo also has his feline side.
That's right. I really hope we'll have him back with us soon, darling.
I hope so too, Gary. But let's not talk about it too much, otherwise I'll be in tears again. Oh man, yes, now I'm getting that stupid feeling again.
Oh no, I'm so sorry I brought it up, Seymour. Come here, let me give you a hug.
Thank you, Chalmers. Really? Thank you. But all right, I'm fine. I'm glad you're here for me.
I always am, Seymour.
I can rely on that. But come on, let's get going. Before we're out the door again, the shops will have closed.
You're right. I wanted to go to the bathroom first. You already know which wine we want to buy, and maybe some snacks to go with it.
Good question, maybe just the one from last time. It was actually quite good and not too expensive. In terms of snacks, I would maybe take peanut flips with me.
Great idea. I'm already going up. Are you going to turn everything off here in the meantime?
Sure, I'll do it.
Oh, wait a minute. It's still recording. Did you forget to press the button?
Oh, yeah, I must have accidentally tapped out of the window when I pressed the space bar to stop. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Happens to the best. We just have to remember to cut it out at the end.
Right? Have you got anything to write down so we don't forget?
No, unfortunately not at the moment. We'll just have to remember to delete it.
Yes, you're right. We won't forget it. Right. I'll be upstairs then, yeah?
Yeah, I'll switch everything off here and then I'll come too. I'll get the wallet while you...